Welcome back to Firepower. Imagine waiting all season for a single opportunity. After miles of hiking and hours of silence, the biggest buck you've ever seen finally steps into a narrow opening. Your crosshairs settle perfectly, you squeeze the trigger, and the shot feels solid. But by the time you work the action for a follow-up, the deer disappears into the timber, leaving behind only uncertainty. Moments like that change the way hunters think about rifles forever. Many people spend thousands of dollars chasing the newest or most popular firearm without asking whether it truly fits the way they hunt. In the field, marketing sells prestige, but the woods reward practicality. Today, we'll uncover a rifle that once outshot the legendary Model 700, a pump-action favorite trusted by professional trackers, and a century-old design that still commands respect. This is Firepower's ranking of the 7 greatest Remington deer rifles ever built, judged not by popularity, but by what matters most when one shot decides the entire hunt. The biggest mistake most hunters make isn't choosing the wrong rifle, it's choosing a rifle before they understand the hunt. Too many buying decisions are shaped by a famous brand name, a recommendation from the local gun store, glowing internet reviews, YouTube hype, or simply buying the same rifle their father or grandfather carried. Those influences aren't necessarily wrong, but they rarely answer the most important question: what kind of hunting do you actually do? A lightweight mountain rifle isn't the ideal choice for thick brush, just as a heavy precision rifle can become a burden on an all-day hike. Stand hunters, still hunters, trackers, and backcountry hunters all face different challenges, and each demands a different set of strengths from a rifle. That's why our rankings go far beyond popularity or sales numbers. We'll evaluate each Remington by its reliability in the field, natural handling, carrying comfort over long days, speed of follow-up shots, practical accuracy, trigger quality, long-term durability, parts availability, and even its lasting collector value. Because the perfect rifle doesn't exist, but the perfect rifle for your hunt absolutely does. Coming in at number 7 is the Remington Model 600, a rifle that was years ahead of its time and is often overlooked by today's hunters. Long before the concept of the modern scout rifle became popular, the Model 600 was already proving the value of a compact, lightweight, and fast-handling hunting rifle. Weighing in at around 5.5 pounds, it may not sound dramatically lighter on paper, but after hiking steep mountain trails from sunrise to sunset, every ounce matters. That reduced weight allows hunters to move faster, react quicker, and shoulder the rifle almost instinctively when a buck suddenly appears. In many ways, it paved the way for later rifles like the Remington Model 7, yet its unique character still stands on its own. Of course, it wasn't perfect. The original factory trigger left room for improvement and remains the rifle's biggest weakness by modern standards. Even so, for hunters who value mobility above everything else, the Model 600 remains a remarkable choice. It also reminds us of an important lesson. The lighter your rifle becomes, the more every design detail and every design flaw matters when you're miles from the nearest road. At number 6 is the Remington Model 8 and its successor, the Model 81. Two rifles that changed American hunting history long before modern semi-automatic rifles became common. Designed by the legendary John Browning, the Model 8 was America's first truly successful high-power, semi-automatic sporting rifle, introducing hunters to a level of speed and innovation that was decades ahead of its time. Its unique long-recoil operating system may seem old-fashioned today, but it proved remarkably reliable in the field, especially when chambered in .35 Remington, a cartridge well suited for thick woods where quick shots at moderate distances are the norm. Compared to today's lightweight semi-automatics, the Model 8 and 81 are heavier and slower to reload, yet they offer an important lesson in practical engineering. They were built for reliability, simplicity, and real hunting conditions rather than trends or tactical features. More than a century later, these rifles remind us that true innovation doesn't always receive immediate recognition. Sometimes the greatest ideas are overlooked simply because they arrived long before the world was ready for them. At number 5 is the Remington 783, a rifle that surprised a lot of hunters by proving you don't have to spend a fortune to get dependable field performance. Built with value in mind, the 783 features a barrel nut system that allows for consistent head spacing and contributes to the impressive factory accuracy many shooters experience. It's not uncommon to see these rifles deliver sub-MOA groups with the right ammunition, a level of precision that once belonged almost exclusively to far more expensive firearms. When compared with rifles like the Savage Axis, Ruger American, and even the legendary Model 700, the 783 holds its own by focusing on the fundamentals that matter most in the field. It may not have the premium fit and finish of higher-end models, but it delivers reliable performance where it counts. For hunters who want an affordable, accurate, and dependable deer rifle, the 783 offers exceptional value. It serves as a reminder that a low price doesn't automatically mean lower quality. After all, price tags can be misleading, but targets never are. At number 4 is the Remington 788, a rifle that earned a reputation for being so accurate it occasionally outperformed Remington's own flagship Model 700. That wasn't supposed to happen. Designed as a more affordable alternative, the 788 featured an innovative bolt with rear-locking lugs and an exceptionally fast lock time, reducing the delay between pulling the trigger and the firing pin striking the primer. Those mechanical advantages helped many shooters achieve outstanding real-world accuracy, making the rifle a favorite among hunters who cared more about results than reputation. Ironically, its success created a problem for Remington. The budget rifle was competing too closely with the premium model, and many believe that was one of the reasons production eventually came to an end. The 788 wasn't without flaws. Its rear-locking design made it less suitable for heavy handloads, and replacement magazines have become increasingly difficult to find. Even so, few rifles have delivered so much performance for so little money. This may be the only rifle Remington ever wished had been just a little less successful. At number 3 is the Remington 7600, a rifle that has earned legendary status among hunters who spend their seasons in thick timber rather than wide-open fields. Its pump-action design allows for exceptionally fast follow-up shots while keeping the rifle shouldered and your eyes locked on the target, a major advantage when a deer appears for only a few seconds before disappearing into heavy brush. That's why generations of tracking hunters in the Northeast have trusted the 7600 in dense forests and closer-range encounters. Compared to a traditional bolt action, It offers quicker cycling under pressure, and unlike many lever actions, it provides familiar handling for shooters accustomed to pump shotguns. While it may not be the first choice for extreme long-range hunting, few rifles inspire as much confidence when the woods are thick and opportunities vanish in an instant. Because in real hunting, the deer won't wait for you to work a bolt. At number 2 is the Remington Model 7, a rifle built for hunters who value mobility, balance, and quick handling above everything else. Designed around a compact action, it delivers many of the strengths of the larger Model 700 in a lighter, more maneuverable package. Compared with the older Model 600, the Model 7 offers a more refined design while preserving the fast, instinctive feel that mountain hunters appreciate after long hours on steep terrain. Its excellent balance allows the rifle to come naturally to the shoulder, making it ideal for modern hunting where opportunities often appear without warning. Whether you're climbing ridges, slipping through dense timber, or covering miles of backcountry, carrying a lighter rifle can make a noticeable difference by the end of the day. Of course, chambering the Model 7 in hard-kicking Magnum cartridges can reduce some of its advantages, as the lighter weight translates into sharper felt recoil. Even so, for hunters who prioritize portability without sacrificing capability, the Model 7 remains one of Remington's finest field rifles. Sometimes carrying less truly allows you to hunt more. Claiming the top spot is the Remington Model 700, a rifle that has set the standard for American bolt-action hunting rifles for more than 6 decades. Its success wasn't built on marketing alone. Hunters, military marksmen, law enforcement agencies, and competitive shooters all embraced the Model 700 because of its strong action, consistent accuracy, and remarkable versatility. Perhaps its greatest advantage is the enormous aftermarket support, allowing owners to customize everything from stocks and triggers to barrels and optics. While the original Walker trigger design became the subject of controversy, many owners have upgraded to modern replacements like the Timney trigger, giving the rifle an even better shooting experience. Compared with the ultra-accurate 788, the fast-handling 7600, or the lightweight Model 7, the Model 700 may not be the absolute best in any single category, but it performs exceptionally well in all of them. It isn't a perfect rifle, yet it remains the most versatile Remington ever built. Great rifles don't survive for 60 years by accident. After ranking these rifles, it's worth asking a more important question. What actually makes a great deer rifle? Many hunters assume it's the highest velocity, the longest effective range, or the biggest scope money can buy. In reality, those features matter far less than most people think. A truly great hunting rifle is one that gives you confidence every time you shoulder it. It cycles reliably in bad weather, balances naturally in your hands, comes on target quickly, and helps you place an accurate shot when the moment finally arrives. Those qualities fill freezers year after year. At the end of the day, the rifle doesn't harvest, the deer the hunter does. Now the question becomes much more personal. Which Remington rifle actually fits the way you hunt? If you're a collector who appreciates firearms with historical significance, the Model 8 is hard to ignore. If you're looking for outstanding performance without spending a fortune, the Remington 783 offers exceptional value. If tiny groups at the range matter most, the incredibly accurate Remington 788 deserves your attention. Hunters who spend their seasons tracking deer through thick timber will likely appreciate the fast-handling Remington 7600, while mountain hunters who cover long distances on foot may find the lightweight Model 7 to be the perfect companion. And if you want one rifle capable of handling almost any hunting situation, the legendary Model 700 remains the benchmark. Now it's your turn, Neef. You could own only one Remington deer rifle for the rest of your life. Which would you choose and why? Let us know in the comments. Before we wrap up, let's talk about the biggest mistakes hunters make when buying a deer rifle. Too often, people choose a rifle because it looks impressive, follows the latest trend, or gets endless praise online. Others overlook practical factors like overall weight, felt recoil, or whether the rifle actually matches their hunting style. A firearm that's perfect for a shooting bench may become a burden after climbing ridges all day, and a heavy magnum isn't always the best choice if it slows down accurate follow-up shots. The smartest hunters don't buy a rifle for the gun counter. They buy one for the conditions they'll face in the field. Because the truth is, hunters rarely regret a rifle while they're standing in the store. They usually regret it after carrying it 10 miles through rough country. As we reach the end of this countdown, one lesson stands above everything else. The best deer rifle isn't the one that dominates online discussions or earns the most recommendations from strangers. It's the rifle that performs reliably season after season in the terrain you actually hunt and under the conditions you truly face. Trends come and go, new models appear every year, and technology continues to evolve, but the fundamentals of successful hunting never change. Forests don't become easier, animals don't become less wary, and a well-designed rifle never loses its value simply because it's no longer the newest option on the shelf. In the end, confidence, reliability, and familiarity will always matter more than hype. Great rifle designs don't become classics by accident. They earn that reputation one successful hunt at a time. That wraps up today's countdown. But now it's your turn to join the conversation. If you could own only one Remington deer rifle for the rest of your life, which one would you choose and why? Would you trust the legendary Model 700, the lightning-fast 7600, the incredibly accurate 788, the lightweight Model 7, or perhaps one of the forgotten classics we covered today? Share your choice and the story behind it in the comments. I read as many of them as I can, and some of the best discussions happen right there. If you enjoyed this ranking and believe reliability matters more than marketing hype, take a second to hit the like button. And if you want more honest, experience-driven firearm and hunting content without the sales pitch, make sure you subscribe to Firepower and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Next week, we're counting down the greatest Winchester hunting rifles ever built, including one forgotten classic that many hunters believe deserves far more recognition than it gets. Until then, stay safe, hunt ethically, practice often, and we'll see you in the next episode of Firepower.